It's like the best video ever.
This is crazy.
We got 25 minutes. We gotta go.
Hi.
We're like afraid to say anything because we don't know who's saying. All right, cool. What's going on YouTube?
Hello, world.
Facts. Well, welcome, guys. I hope there is no way. You go.
Today's episode 10. And for today's special episode of 10, we are in the same room.
Always bringing to you guys, always doing something unique. Well, we're going to keep certain things the same, so let's jump into our question.
Drum roll, what is today's question?
That's definitely last week's question.
The suspense is killing me. Is this a profession or an industry? Is this a career or a job? So today's episode may feel very much oriented towards our network marketers and relationship marketers. If you are an entrepreneur that is not involved with a network marketing company or a relationship marketing company, you may find this quite entertaining. And for those of you who do work for companies or do have a business in a company that is a network marketing or relationship marketing company, we want to hear from you. We really want to hear from you on this topic. Is this a profession or an industry? Is this a career or a job? What do you think? So, do you want to go first, Winston?
I'd love to. And since I left my phone/clock, I'll ask you could do the honors.
I will put 25 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
Let's dive into it. And just so that we're not start throwing things out at you guys, we did actually look these things up to make sure that we could definitely clarify what it is. There it is. Let's go, people. So let's start with what exactly is a profession and or industry. And I love this. So it says a profession is a group of qualified people who practice a particular set of skills. An industry is a group of companies organized that all work on companies and organizations that all work on a similar thing. So what's interesting is I'd actually never considered what we do as relationship marketers as a profession. I thought of the title, obviously it makes sense, but I thought as a whole, network marketing or relationship marketing was an industry. But as I'm looking at this now, I actually am going back and forth. I am still leaning towards industry because I do think as a whole, the companies are network marketing companies or companies in what I call the industry have adopted a ideology of how they want to get their brand into people's hands. So fast food restaurants do it a certain way. I don't know too many fast food restaurants that do word of mouth marketing. They do it traditional way.
They do it, but they also do it with regular commercials and regular logos. But they're also counting on
No. They're counting on it, but are you paying people to do it?
That's correct.
There we go. So that's the only reason. And the other reason why I lean away from the profession is because of the word qualified. And that's what, and to be honest, we looked this up today. When Janelle told me the word qualified, that's the first thing that made me go, okay, I don't believe this is a profession simply because anyone can get involved and your level as to quality, and that's not a term relative to who you are as a person, but just in this industry, how good you are is probably not something that on day one, if you've never had any experience, is something that you can lean back on. So I don't think you can say to anyone, I have the profession of network marketer. I guess I would say I'm in the industry of relationship marketing. Because I could bounce from any company and I would still believe we're still working towards the same goal or working towards similar things, which is marketing a product and or service to a network of people or my network of people or anyone's network of people.
So I mean, it's interesting that you said you bounce back and forth, but it seems like you're landing on industry.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. I think we're both. I understand why there's bounce back, because I think we honestly fit in both. I do think it takes qualified people. I think when you first get started, not everybody who gets started is qualified. Just like any profession, you like, there is training involved, you know, in order for you to become like a qualified professional, but it's a profession, right? So like most people think of a profession like a doctor, a lawyer, dentistry, whatever, physical therapy, whatever. Well, marketing even, right? Like let's do something non-science related. So like you get training in order to become a qualified professional in a profession. And here's what I want to say. We do the same thing. People come in and they have all sorts of backgrounds, have education in anything, but there is training set up so that way you can be a qualified professional. You can be a qualified professional network marketer in a profession of network marketing. So that's where I feel like it's a particular set of skills is where I leaned into, whereas you leaned into qualified. I see particular set of skills and I'm like, yeah, there's a particular set of skills that you get trained in and you learn over time, because a lot of the training is through lived experiences, trial and error, like most learning, let's just be real, like life. But that being said, it is a set of skills that you start to hone in on, tune in on, and really refine. And then of course that the better you are at that skill set, right, then usually the more success you have in the profession of network marketing. Just like any other profession, the better a doctor you are, the more skilled you are at a doctor, the better you are at teaching, right? Like let's say like you're in the profession of academia, then the more success you are because you have more successful students. Same thing with marketing. The better you are at learning the skill set of marketing, then the more successful you'll be, right? Like the better you are at your skill set, the more successful you will be. So that's why I think profession is definitely what it can be included. And I think it's also an industry in that if you look at the fact that there are several network marketing companies, right? Several network marketing companies who've decided to pay people to market their product or service, right? Like, and really good network marketing companies will also provide you with excellent training. I know this is where things start to shake out in terms of what's a better company, right? How well do they train you? So you want to make sure you're with the company that's training you really, really well, because the better you are at the skill set, then the more success you'll have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately, there are multiple companies or multiple organizations even that market the same way. They market by having people who don't have a particular training necessarily but like eventually they will train them on that skill set in order to market their products and their services. So that's a similarity that all network marketing companies have. So that's why I feel like we really do fit. You could call it a profession and you could call it an industry, and perhaps it's the people in the industry of network marketing companies, the people are the professionals, and maybe that's where you can start to draw the lines, is that the people are the professionals and the companies are the industry. And so like where you go from there, I think is like a whole other ballgame. But I think of like, okay, so there's the industry of medicine, right? So doctors are professionals in the industry of medicine, right? Many different companies, hospitals, local clinics, whatever, those are different companies that all work on similar things. Yeah, the health of people, right? So that's the industry, the medicine as an industry, and then, doctors are the professionals. And maybe that's what it is. It's that the network marketing companies create the industry, but the people, the network marketers are the profession. And maybe that's probably the line that I think is like in the line in my head. Pharmaceutical companies, right? Because they're also in medicine. So you have pharmaceutical companies and it's a pharmaceutical industry because those are the companies. But what about the pharmacist? The pharmacist is the profession. So really, it's interesting. Maybe that's what it is. Industry is the company, whereas profession is the people, represents the people.
Yeah. So it's a question of and I agree. Because as I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking about just the different. Do you really? There are some obviously similarities. And yeah, you're right. We do go to training. You have the opportunity to learn. You can get the skill sets, and it's a question of whether or not you become. So maybe this isn't necessarily, to your point, Jay. Is this a profession or an industry? It is an industry for sure, and you can become a professional in this industry. And that's what that should be the goal. Maybe it's not necessarily focusing on thinking about how much money you can make, which is obvious, but, and this is something actually that we have talked about before, where I said to you, I want to take this, we should do this in the same moment. We're not even looking at screen. But I've said to you that I want to get so good at this that regardless of whatever company I was a part of, I would have success.
Mm-hmm.
So that would obviously overall industry would have to be strong, that people believe in it. But as a professional, I could go anywhere. It's like maybe corny example, but LeBron James can play basketball for anyone because he's a basketball professional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What team he's on, how they win, all that other stuff is the nuance that we don't need to get into. But because he is, to your point, perfect or gotten his skill level to that where it is, he can now, in the industry of sports or sports entertainment and basketball specifically, take that same skill and now apply it. So, yeah, I'll concede in this one. I'll definitely say that it's the first concession. The first concession on the show. And it had to be episode 10. You know, it had to be something definitely special. Guys, make sure if you're loving this content, drop some comments in the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you are in this industry or you believe you're a professional in this industry, let us know what your thoughts on this. And then let's dive into the second half of this, Jay. And I'll let you lead this one off so that I can sit here and think of really educated things to say to tear down what you got to say.
All right.
So is this a career or a job?
Okay, so is this a career or a job? So we looked up the definitions for career and job as well. And so here we go. A job is typically short-term oriented and tends to focus on earning money, where a career is typically a series of related employment in one field that provides experience for your future and helps you earn better pay and a living status. So is what we do a job, short-term oriented, focusing on money, or is it a career where it's a series of related employments or a series of related jobs that provides experience for your future and helps you earn a better pay and living status? So I'm gonna lean heavy into that second part, helps you earn a better pay and living status. I think that's the goal, right? It's like, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for something that helps me earn better pay and a living status. And we all know that network marketing has the ability to do that, probably better or more so than the typical job, right? And what happens is, I think, is that your job changes within network marketing. In the beginning, you are entry-level job, very focused on earning money. You're just trying to get like, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do in order to earn the money? And then as you move forward, you start to, you're like next level of the job, maybe management, right? Now you have a bunch of people in your organization, you have people on your team, and you're now learning to lead and manage all of them to make sure they're doing what they need to do, right? To make things happen. And then you move past that into, okay, I need to go out there and do more work. Let me get out of management mode, give that to somebody else in the organization. You go back in the field, right? But now you have all this experience, right? So you have the experience of being in the field, also managing, right? And so now you have like more mentorship, right? So you're in the field and you're like mentoring people in the field. And so to me, that's like, that is the career. That is the career path that you're following. It's these little jobs within the career path that leads you to earn a better pay and living status. And I don't think we normally see it that way. I don't think it's intuitive. I definitely don't think people intuitively think like that's what this is. But now that we have the definition, I feel like that's where we can go with this. What do you have to say?
Actually, I completely agree. And because I do,
You let me know the definition of side hustle.
And I want to know, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is I think a lot of people right now, I've heard people use this euphemism in conversations, just like, oh, I got this side hustle. I've heard Jerome refer to it as a side gig or something like that.
The gig economy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, was that a movie you saw? Was that?
Yeah, it's something. It's in an article we read or something.
Yeah, but they talk about the gig economy.
Yeah.
Well, they're referring to side gigs like people who drive Uber or just, again, it's not something that you do for your majority of the time when it comes to work, but it is something you do on the side. So I changed the question to, is this a professional industry or is this a career or a side hustle? And I truly think that your mindset or your attitude towards it will determine that. And I agree with you. I think this is a career and we should treat it as such. But because maybe we don't have structure around that idea, so if I go to school, if I go to medical school, for example, I have an idea of how long it's going to take me, depending on the area of medicine I want to go in, what I can expect. I think because there maybe is not such a clear roadmap in relationship marketing, because there are people who get to the top, and I love what you said about hitting these different real levels where management and so on. There's some people who get to the top. The idea of it being a career, though, is long term. That's what I think of when I used to think of people talk about long term. It's like I've been in this career for 20 years. I've been a lawyer I've been a real estate broker for so long. Whereas a side hustle, to me, or go back to job, I think it's one of those things where because we've been so against, I feel like our industry at times is like against jobs. So I think people, in wanting to hold on to that, defend this idea that a job is honorable. And we're not saying that it isn't, but if you aren't gaining a particular skill that is going to allow for you to increase your income the way the definition said and pay living status, then what are you really doing, right? So you can get fired from a job. Miles Monroe says this. You can get fired from a job, but you can't get fired from your, and he doesn't use the word career, but work. There we go. School young lady. You can get fired from a job, but you can't get fired from your work. And he uses that in the terms of work is what we were put here to do, or part of what we were put here to do as a whole. And I think as relationship marketers, I am starting to be very transparent with you guys, identify as someone who's been put here to do this type of work, to do the work of relationship marketing. And it has been 7 years now that we've been doing this, and I gotta tell you that I never used to look at it that way. I actually used to look at it as I used to look at this as like a side thing, like this little thing on the side that's gonna make me more money. But I don't think I'd ever considered this being a career, like this being the thing that I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, or one of the things.
Yeah. Well, I'll piggyback on that. I think people don't look at it as something that they're going to do for the rest of their lives. But let's be honest, right? Doctors don't think they're necessarily going to be doctors for the rest of their lives. Lawyers don't think that they're going to be lawyers for the rest of their lives. All of them see this retirement. Like that's their goal. They're like, I'm just doing this to make enough money so that way I can retire. Like, you don't want to work, right, until the day that they die, which is different because what you're saying is like, I'm going to do this forever. Like, I'm going to be 80, 85 years old, and I'm going to be a network marketer.
If you just said that, those are jobs then. Aside from the short term, aside from that word short term, tends to focus on earning money. Let's be real. If you are on here, you happen to be a doctor or anyone in a very highly paid profession, did you go into that for the love of that, what work you do in that, or to what Janelle brought up, because you were hoping to obviously earn more money to provide for your family, and then on the backside of not working, set up some type of retirement fund that is going to carry you through the later years of your year and your family. Because then that means I know a lot of lawyers that I've talked to who their focus is money.
Yeah, they're looking at that. They're like, I'm out. This is like, it's this season for 30, 40 years of my life. This is what I'm going to do. And then I'm out, right? And I think it has a lot to do with fulfillment. What do you find fulfillment in? I'll give an example. I think my mother wouldn't mind if I said this. So my mom is a lawyer. She practices immigration law, and technically she's retired, but she still does some immigration work on the side. And she gets fulfilled in helping people in that way, but she doesn't have the time nor the energy to have the number of clients that she used to have. So she's actually trying to like decrease her client size because she's like, no, I just want to do what I want to do now. I think there's more of that kind of feeling. Like I do get fulfillment for helping people in that way, but I also like want to fill my time doing other things that I enjoy, which I think is really interesting to watch, because I think if we're all honest, that is where we see a certain life. It's like, okay, I work really hard for a certain period of life, and then I want the ability to live and then do the things that I really want to do, which makes it seem like the job that you're doing is not like you're just doing it for the pay, to your point. I think a lot of people go into network marketing and they see the ability to retire earlier. Like, you don't necessarily have to be doing it for 20, 30 years or whatever, right? Like, you could retire as early as 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, right, into something. That's the idea. That is, I think, and again, when you're just starting, you don't understand this. Like, you're like, I wish. It kind of feels like a lottery ticket. You're like, maybe this will work for me.
Let's do the air quotes.
Yeah, a lottery, right? But I do understand that for many people who see the vision of what network marketing can provide for you, ultimately it's like, okay, I don't have to go to a job where there's somebody telling me what to do per se, and I can like help people. I find what I do fun and enjoyable and fulfilling. So like when I'm doing whatever I need to do for my network marketing business, I don't have to. Here's the difference. I think people would like to see it as like something that they don't have to do unless they really want to. Like, my network marketing business is so successful that I am insignificant to whether the income comes or not, right? Which is, I think, the definition of success in network marketing, that I'm insignificant to my business and money is coming in whether I'm asleep or awake or whatever, right? And then and when I do want to put in work into my network marketing business, it's because I want to. I enjoy doing it. Think of artists. That's the way probably the best business. I think of artists. Think of like a Jay-Z. He makes money whether he's sleeping or not sleeping. He's got all sorts of investments where money's coming in, right? Why does he keep going back to music though? Why does he like he doesn't have to? Exactly. It's his purpose. He feels like it is like an expression of who he is. It is like what he's put on this earth for, is to provide entertainment, education, upliftment, whatever, through the art form of hip hop and rap. But he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to. That is, I think, where the line is drawn. It's a line between I have to do this in order to pay my bills, etc., versus no, my bills are good. Like, I don't have to do this, but I want to. And I think that's where people want to get to. They want to get to a place where they do the things that they want to do, not because they have to do it.
But we recognize that there's a part where you first will have to do the things you not that necessarily don't want to part, but you have to do it at a level where you may not want to as much for maybe many seasons, until you do get to a point where then it becomes a choice to just get up off your bed whenever you want. Okay, cool. All right. Because then I completely agree with you, because I would definitely love to get the Jay-Z money. Yeah. Or let me be very real with the audience. Beyonce. I want to get to the Bay money. I want to get to the Beyonce. I definitely want to get to the Beyonce money. But guys, let us know what you think. Please drop it in the chat. For everybody who joined us live today, we definitely appreciate it. As always, we are excited about having these conversations, excited about bringing you these type of compelling questions. I mean, I think this is something where, again, your mindset towards it ultimately is going to. I think you can get into this and think of it as a job. You can get into it and think of it as a side hustle. I just love about your mom, but I think she turned her profession into a side hustle.
That's another way to look
Which
at it.
is because to your point, she did retire, but is still doing. It almost made me think of like cops who leave the force and then start doing like private security or whatever. So they left the thing that was paying them a regular pass, and you'd be like a dedicated cop, and now you're just security, but they're looking at it as like a side thing, right? So let's get to a point where we don't have to have the side hustle be the main thing anymore, right? Or actually, no, we have the side hustle be the main thing. Because I still don't want to have to show up to this to be shot at just to earn some money. Whether I'm in a uniform or I'm not, right?
No, right.
And I don't think many security guards can create a passive residual income. If you ain't there to take the bullet,
No,
they ain't paying you.
no. I think maybe that's as we, we're about to go into overtime. I think the next question really is like, how many careers, how many professions are there where you can eventually get to financial freedom, which means you don't need to make decisions based on time or money anymore. You are now making decisions based on what's best for you and your family because you have a passive residual income that's paying all of your bills.
There it is.
There it is.
Cut her off. Cut her off.
All right, so we're going into overtime. If you want to talk more about that, we're going into overtime. Find us on Patreon overtime. We'll keep talking about that.
Who knows which screen we'll be on then. But guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. And as always,
remember you deserve a good life. Say that.
Have an amazing week, guys. We'll see you guys next week.